persist until the formation of the National Wrestling Alliance in 1948. The NWA as a central governing body, with its singular, undisputed world champion, would be absolute and undeniable. This control, combined with the expansion of the interstate highway system, and the inevitable popularity and availability of regional television, would usher in an era of wrestling that was defined by what would come to be known as the territory system. The territory system would dominate wrestling for nearly 4 decades, while the borders, authority, popularity, and obedience of individual NWA territories was in a near constant state of flux. To this day, the impact and influence of these territories is still felt. Each territory had its own signature promoter and star. While it is impossible to cram these characteristics into a static, concrete map, we are damn sure going to try anyway.
So open up your eyes way before it gets too late. Now one man, there's no way you can. With the street lights running, don't give a damn. A simple explanation that you'll never find. Sinners never sacrifice. We never leave love alone. Is hate really worth the price? Look at what we've done. Never care for compromise. Always threatening someone's life, and it feels like the end of the world.
All right, welcome back to another episode of This Week in Wrestling with your hosts, Mike Monte and Jimmy Farrow.
Right here.
That's it?
That's it. What up? What's up, man?
I don't know, man.
Another week in wrestling.
I got to tell you, sometimes I think about just doing a show on something else.
Okay.
I just do. I just think...
Well, sometimes you do. It's not always about wrestling.
No, I get that, but it's like... I don't know. I just sometimes
We're not
there's
doing
so
a
much
show
interesting
on my psychological
conversation.
makeup. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Well, we could probably do a series.
no, I'm certainly not going to do that.
Tales
But
from the Pharaoh's
last
Dark
week,
Mind.
little roll call before we start going.
Yeah. What do we got?
This,
What do we got?
I tell you, Abe, this thing started rolling really fast. I got here, and it's like it's already showtime.
Yeah.
R.J. Hudson in the house. The First Lady of Wrestling in the house. Davio, how are you?
Davio.
ESO. J. Will, how are you?
Joe Will, what
ESO, brother, how are you, bud?
Oh, Roos.
You know, Bruce, you're supposed to send me something this morning.
Was he?
Maybe he'll do it tonight. We've been talking, so.
probably working at the bar
He
till
made some
4 a.m.
very cool. Did he send you the cartoons of you?
No.
Oh, dude, he
haven't
made
seen them.
he made some rocking.
Well, I trust him
cartoons.
artistically, so.
It's not like you're watching Scooby Doo.
Listen, Beavis and Butthead was awesome, and it was the most basic drawing, so I'm sure that it's fine. I'm sure it's good.
Scott, how are you? Benny, how are you? Benny from Dan and Benny did
What's
a
up,
great show
Benny,
yesterday.
my brother?
With Benny, what was that guy you guys were interviewing? Write that down so I could share that with Jimmy.
Fill us in, Benny.
But
I don't have a TV or a phone lately.
I don't know. I got a brain freeze. But
That's okay.
the dude. So the guy definitely they get some of these
Once
guests,
again,
right?
someone who's got
but this
so many
guy's-
ins and outs.
This guy's been on numerous times.
Okay.
But he always is interesting. Like
Yeah.
I'm always like him again, and then it's like it's
And then
like
you
a new
find
story.
yourself there for the whole episode. Excellent.
George
That was-
Shear is his name. Did
George
you ever hear
Shear.
of George Shear.
I can't say I have.
Okay, well, neither did I.
And what was his deal? Do you remember?
So he
some,
basically was a wrestling fan,
Okay.
and then he started going to wrestling shows, and he hooked up with a meta promoter, I guess, or a ring announcer.
Right.
They became friends, and before you knew it, he was in the back with the boys in
Right.
the AWA, and then also
Wow,
they trusted him
AWA.
and
Very good.
off you to the races, right?
Right.
But
Awesome.
but the interesting, they did almost like a life story of the guy. And before we got a lot of wrestler talk, so I'll be quick about it. But
Yeah.
anyway, you guys can catch it on the channel, just so you know.
Look it up.
But he was in a family growing up that was, the father and the mother didn't want the kids, and they broke up, and the father was working 2 jobs. But the thing, I wrote Benny about it. Benny says author and wrestling historian.
Okay.
Another wrestling historian.
It's got to be better than the one we knew.
But again, what does it take to be a wrestling historian?
Well,
like a pro
The
wrestling
one we
expert.
know, it just takes a lot of flapping of the gums. But
Wouldn't you say
some
you're?
folks
I think at one
actually,
show we
like
marked you as a wrestling historian. Didn't
yeah, I
we?
know I got mad, didn't I?
You
I was
did
like,
get-
what the hell?
But you are a wrestling historian.
I guess by reflex, I guess
Why
I
not?
am. Yeah, sure, why not?
If I told you, when did superstar Billy Graham beat Bob Backlund?
Oh, God. When did... He didn't beat Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund
well,
beat him.
Trick question, but when did Backlund
I think it was
beat
February 20th, 1978.
Look, bang.
I think.
Wrestling historian.
Oh, God. Shoot me now.
That's a wrestling historian.
Abe, do me a favor. Throw something at me. How's your arm? I hope it's accurate like Aaron's. Like Aaron Rodgers'
Wait,
arm.
Benny just insulted you. He said, no, George is a true historian.
That's
I
not-
think you just gave me
That's
history
not
right there.
that's not Benny insulting me. That's Benny probably insulting that schmuck that we know from Queens.
Well, let me ask you.
I don't want to put you on the spot, Benny,
That
so
is
I'm not
true.
saying
is
that's
prob-
what you were
is-
doing.
That is probably, I didn't think about it.
I was not putting you on the spot,
But anyway,
I swear.
back it up. This guy
go
George
ahead.
Shire, he
Yeah,
grows
sure.
up in his family. The mother doesn't want the kids. The father's doing like,
Right.
2 jobs.
They make fun of him because he likes wrestling,
and then-
probably.
and, I'm sitting there
Like
listening,
most of
and
us.
George is like, at one point he said to Dan and Benny, he's like, when I became a father, I wanted to be a good, I wanted to be active in my kid's life. I wanted
Right.
to be
He didn't
part of
want to
my kid's
repeat
life.
what he dealt
I don't
with.
want to be, he goes,
Right.
my father wasn't there for us. And all I could think
Gotcha.
to myself is, the fucking guy was working 2 fucking jobs.
I know, man. He
I
was
mean, give the
busy.
guy a little bit of a break, taking care of you
What
guys,
was-
giving you food and shelter.
Yeah, 2 jobs. Yeah. What was Mom doing? Maybe
She
Mom
left.
wasn't.
She split.
So she wasn't dead. Dad's just working a lot.
But again,
I don't
he
know,
wasn't
man.
part of their lives. And I thought to
Right.
myself, like,
Well, Dad,
boy, oh boy, could
working
you
hard.
imagine working your whole life for your family,
Right.
and then your kids saying you weren't there for us?
Wow. I would feel like.
That'd make you feel like
what's
shit.
it all about, Alfie?
He could have walked. He could have walked away.
Yeah, that's true.
Just saying.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Now I want to see the whole interview. Now you've done it. All right. What else
Anyway,
you got?
let's
Who
go.
else is out there? Or have we basically...
I think Phil's just checked in.
Mr.
We got
Phil.
the main show, Ask Monty and the Pharaoh Anything,
Okay.
episode 2.
Excellent.
But anyway, Lacey Evans is finished with the WWE. Lacey Evans' time with the WWE was seemingly come to an end.
Wow.
Based on her social media activity, Evans, Macy Estrella, has implied that she's no longer with the WWE. Thoughts on Lacey Evans? Her tweet was, "What we go through doesn't determine who we become. I refuse to use this opportunity God has given me for anything but helping people realize what they are capable of, regardless where they come from." Macy Estrella.
What they're capable of. What does this mean? She's going to go back to demanding that you give her 20 push-ups? You're capable of 20, you slob. Now get down and...
If I was telling her,
confused.
I'd say go on OnlyFans and let's hit this, because forget about it.
Yeah. Do a Mandy.
I knew you weren't doing Mandy, absolutely. And
Yeah.
she's hot enough. She's
Of
got
course.
oh my.
Sure.
Again, we've discussed. I'm a huge Lacey Evans guy.
I'm
You
surprised at
weren't.
this. But I wasn't, not that I
You,
wasn't.
no,
I
you,
felt
you,
like
you,
she was
it was a
under-
miss. You just thought it was a miss.
Yeah, it felt like a miss.
In the end, why was she? Look, she had the looks.
Yes.
She was a good wrestler.
She was serviceable. She was good. She wasn't great.
Didn't say great, good.
Wasn't great. She was serviceable. Go ahead.
I mean,
She had
when
a
you
good
say
look.
serviceable as using only women, not men,
Right.
who is a serviceable woman wrestler and who is a good and great wrestler in the women's division?
Oh,
any
God.
organization.
Well, let me put it this way. Like, you have the greats like the Sasha Bankses.
Is
and the-
Bailey?
Oh, Bailey's great.
Why is Bailey great?
Bailey's just a great wrestler and has been for years and years and years. I mean, she's been in classics already, so it's not like she hasn't. Bailey's a great
So because
wrestler.
she had a classic puts her in the great category.
Well, it doesn't hurt your case, but it's
so
pretty
then
obvious
Britt
Bailey
Baker
can
is
do it
great
all.
because she was in that Blood
I
Classic?
don't think Britt Baker
No,
is great.
I'm asking you, right?
I think Britt Baker is serviceable, even though she was in a blood fest, which we still laugh at to this day.
Right, I
Which
get
is,
that.
personally our opinion on it, and we're
So
entitled to
fair
it.
enough. I agree with you. Lacey
know?
Evans is
She's
good.
not even Nikki Cross, if you understand what
Wow,
I'm getting.
Lacey
No,
Evans-
Nikki
really?
Cross is a damn good brawling
Okay.
wrestler. No. She was serviceable. There was nothing outstanding about her in ring, and honestly, nothing outstanding about her promo work either. She was okay. I think that it was missed opportunities with booking. They should have pushed her like a badass, had her say as little as possible, and beat the crap out of people. She's a drill sergeant.
big girl.
She's huge.
Right.
So they booked her poorly, in my opinion, if you wanted to get optimum out of her skill set and mic set. That's what I think.
So, the popular belief is she's done with wrestling.
Okay.
Would that be a mistake in your hands?
Yeah, because what's she going to do at AEW? She would never get the proper push anyway. They wouldn't bring her in like a Goldberg or, even a Sergeant Slaughter type. I don't see anything for her.
So you just say it's time to move on to another career.
You know what I would have tried? In her case, New Japan. Go after Sasha. You've done something different. No one's expecting that. Go out there,
Sasha's
say
hurt
little.
right now, right? So,
There you go with that. But I'm just saying,
I got you, I
that would have
understand.
been interesting. Would have given her a
if
little
you're
life.
Tony Khan, do you say let's capitalize
No.
on this and take her?
No. Tony Khan's got 20 pounds of poop in a 2-pound bag.
By the
No.
way, we'll get to last night's show, which, again,
Not good.
not good.
Not good.
It was.
I reviewed it myself
It
earlier
was
today.
so-
Not good. And it's funny, the marks are giving it like a C, C+. That's an F in
All right,
reality.
well, we'll get to that.
Sure.
Well, anyway, we'll miss you, Lacey. I'll miss you, Lacey.
Yeah,
Evans.
no, it's unfortunate. She could have
You
been,
know, think about
could
the
have been
angle.
a lot better.
Think about the angle she had. She had that Southern Belle angle.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
Then she had like the mommy angle. Didn't work.
Right.
Then she came back with the having sex with Ric Flair angle. Right? Which I think could have worked.
I really think that the
It
Sergeant...
would have worked if it wasn't COVID.
I really think that the Sergeant Slaughter thing could have worked if done correctly.
Oh my God.
that
me
was
too.
it. That was it.
That was the one.
That was the one right there.
I agree 100%.
Yep.
CM Punk dominating headlines, but not for the right reasons.
What else is
Since
new?
Saturday night, CM Punk has dominated the wrestling headlines. It all started with Punk's in-ring post-collision promo, where he took shots at Hangman Page.
Still taking shots.
Blah, 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 blah.
Right. Still taking shots.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm sure you're noticing that the whole show of Collision relies on his very presence, right? I mean, basically, he's the show. I find it interesting that he's still throwing bombs at guys that are on the other show. I can't help but think at some point they're obviously going to cross paths again. Whether they, I don't believe that they're going to refuse to work with each other in real life. I feel like we're all being worked beyond belief at this point. There might have been legitimacy to the original fight. There might have been legitimacy even to this day that they don't like each other. But I cannot see how they would not eventually cash this in and turn reality into money. So I do think that eventually they're on a crash course with each other.
So you think this is the
I think we're being played. I think it was based in reality, but I feel like we're being played. This is wrestling, my friend, right?
Is there excitement for Hangman Page CM Punk feud? Is there any excitement? The Elite against
If you want
FTR?
to watch a couple of matches where they'll beat the living tar out of each other, it'll be serviceable. How's that sound? Coming from me, as you can see, I'm not very excited.
Benny says Khan lets the inmates run the asylum.
Yes, he does. It's out of control over there, and eventually it will be their comeuppance.
Let me ask you this.
It doesn't work ultimately.
They're really pushing the Wembley thing is the greatest pro wrestling event ever.
Shut up.
The most
Not you.
The most people in there,
Yeah.
whatever.
Stop. Just stop it. Stop it.
Jay Will says Flair and Hail Berry had a fling. That's what he claims.
Flair and Holly Berry?
Yeah.
I
believe it.
I'd like to hear what Holly Berry has to say about that.
She's probably like,
It's probably like Rick Who, although,
Holly Berry's pretty.
Listen, if this was 1987, oh, hell yeah, Ric Flair probably hung out with Holly Berry. This is 2000 and what?
I don't know. I think he meant in.
Oh, like 20 years ago when Ric
I don't
Flair
know,
was
20
like
years ago,
in
I mean,
Evolution going, I'm the...
Maybe, yeah.
Get out of here.
Still was old.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, and how old was she? 4? I know I'm probably dating myself here, but I can't. I don't buy it for one flipping second. Whatever. I
So,
mean, Flair's had a million women, but I doubt he's had that
because
one.
Wembley Stadium
Yeah.
is going to have the largest crowd ever, right?
Does
According to
the
what they said.
WWE have to turn around and book a gig there just to show them how it's really done? Because they probably will be like, that's not how it... Or as Crocodile Dundee once said, that's not a knife. This is!
Right.
Stop. Whatever they do, if the WWE feels like it, they'll top it. And no, that's not being a mark. That's being just factual.
The
Sorry,
reality
That's
of
facts.
it, dude, too,
Sorry.
is this too.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you and me could book a show in London and like get some kind of put, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, do you think this changes the perception of AEW? Because to me,
No.
it's really
No.
it's really slipping.
I mean, did New Japan, turn into like a kabillion subscribers because Sasha's over there. So they're going to England. They're going across the pond. They're doing a show. Congratulations.
I mean, it's no small feat,
it's
80,000
not
people.
no
right?
small feat. It's fantastic. But
I mean,
do
I
think
didn't
it's
think
gonna,
they'd get 40.
Do I think it's going to change the landscape? No, I don't.
Let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
Why in London can they draw 80?
Because
In the States, they can't draw a 5.
Because the British love, and I do love Britain, unlike my partner, I do. The British people love pro wrestling on such a level, they can't wait to see the American stars. This is a big deal to them, and it should be. It's exciting to them.
I'm assuming they get AEW over
Did
there,
you know
right?
how popular the New York Jets are in England?
Yeah.
They're the most popular NFL team, which I
yes.
find very unusual, by the way. If you're going to pick a team, why are you picking the Jets?
Well,
but they adore the
And
Jets.
by the way, I got to tell you.
Yeah, go ahead. That offensive line looks like shit.
Hard Knocks.
Anyway.
Hard Knocks is on.
Yeah, how's that going?
They're,
Is it good? I heard it's good.
they are selling me hard, man.
Oh, you're enjoying it. I heard
came
it's
out
good.
Of I came out of episode 1 like, oh, shit, we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm like, you know what I mean?
You're not supposed to say. I haven't even said it.
No,
yet.
but I was like,
Good. I'm glad you feel that way.
But I reeled
heard episode
myself
2
in.
was brawls. They were
Oh,
brawling.
I got to tell you, man. It's like Aaron Rodgers is
the man.
walking on water
Obi-Wan
right now.
Kenobi is here. That's all I've got to say about that. Obi-Wan is here, and he's going to teach us the Force. This is fantastic.
Back to wrestling.
Go ahead. Go ahead. And by the way, we could fill up Wembley Arena. All we'd have to say is Roman Reigns is coming, even if he's not.
Right.
Sell out in 2
Sell out in
seconds.
2
2 seconds.
So,
Yeah.
will there be some coming out of 80? First of all, the card there. Mm-hmm. They're starting to announce the matches,
Okay, what
right?
do you got? You got anything good?
Yeah, Cole and MJF going for the
Tag belts?
the Australian tag belts or whatever the fuck
The
they are,
Australian?
right? Ring of
belts?
Honor, the Ring of Honor tag belts,
Oh my
right?
God, really?
But it's in the pre-show.
This is what they put MJF and Cole
Yeah, but
in the
main
pre-show.
event is MJF against Cole,
Oh, he's working twice. He's working twice.
They're working
twice.
twice.
I'm impressed
Yes.
with that. That's cool.
and they're best friends, but they're
Right.
really they
Understand?
got
There's
whole
that
gimmick
underlying
thing,
thing,
going,
and they've
right?
done very well together. By the way,
So I will tell
they're
you-
good together. I'm enjoying.
I don't
that.
want to. I don't want to. All right, we're on last night, so I will talk about this before we get to the first match. I am very interested in MJF and Cole.
Yeah,
And
should
so
be.
they had a little
good.
vignette like we used to watch with Murdoch and
Okay.
Adonis and all those
Okay.
vignettes.
Yeah, sure.
And they go to Outback to have dinner.
Okay.
And,
I like this pairing, by the way. But okay, so they're at Outback.
was it entertaining? It was okay.
Oh, it was just okay.
For me.
Okay,
I was interested. Like,
sure.
I will tell you something
you weren't
about
changing the
Adam,
channel.
Something
All right.
about Adam Cole
He's,
interests me.
I love Adam Cole.
But every time I see him in the ring, I lose.
He's not big enough for you. I understand.
I don't think he's big enough
such a
for
good wrestler, though.
anybody. It's not believable.
I usually think of 3 words that probably come to your mind when you look at Adam Cole. Where's your chest? Am I wrong? I think he's in great shape, honestly, but I don't think he's a big guy, obviously. He's a tremendous
What do you
wrestler,
think he
though.
weighs?
Soaking wet, 195.
And you're being generous.
I am. I'm bigger than
You
him,
can't have
probably.
a wrestler
Not that I would
like-
wrestle him. He'd fuck me
you
up.
can't. I don't think so.
Nah, you're
but
right. I am psychotic. You're right about that.
I honestly don't. Like, I don't get
Hey.
it. It doesn't make sense to me. It just, like...
He's always made sense to me, but I adjusted years back to these smaller guys. I didn't say that I approved of it. I just said I adjusted to it. And that's basically it. When I look at, let me put it this way.
Because you
to
liked him
me-
so much, you forgave it and just
You know what?
past it.
Honestly, this started with Jericho 20 years ago. The smaller guy, fair or not, with Jericho, smaller than The Rock and Stone Cold, but he played so damn big
Right.
that I looked at him that way. For example, Perry, stay with me on this. Perry and Adam Cole, to me, have similar builds. One's more cut, though. Perry's more cut, right? But they have similar builds to me, tall and thin. And not even tall, okay? Tall and thin. The difference between the two is, even though Perry looks better, Cole plays like a piper. Not exactly, don't get mad, but he plays so big. And he feels big to me. He always did. Whether he was Ring of Honor champion, whether he was in an NXT, his NXT run was fantastic, obviously, with the Undisputed
So
Era.
let me stop you there. Do you
Always
remember
liked
when
him.
Karrion Kross came?
Yes.
and then all of a sudden they had that square off.
Yes.
Right then and there, I
You
said,
got a mountain and you got a
forget
mouse.
it. It's like it was over. Like,
I
go, this
understand.
can't
For you,
play well.
I can see why you would think
But
that right
Rey
off the bat.
Mysterio,
Ray's it.
He's built.
There's another one,
but
though.
he's built.
He is built.
And you know what I mean?
And he's stocky in a
It-
way.
yes,
he's
yes.
like in a way he is. He's
And
more
again,
square
just
shoulders.
because you have muscles doesn't mean you're a tough guy.
Of course
I get it.
not.
But here's the realism of it.
Yeah, I know.
You may be the baddest MFer, great boxer, karate
Right.
guy, whatever,
Sure.
at 210 pounds.
Sure.
I'm sorry, and this goes back to what we used to say, Bruce Lee against Andre the Giant.
Andre's going to grab him
And just rip him to shreds.
and crush his
Yeah.
throat.
Like there's not.
All he had to do was squeeze.
And even just think about it, when he's hitting him,
right.
it's not.
You're not getting through to him.
you're
He's a tree stump.
It's not happening.
Right, I agree. I do agree.
All right, so we'll go
I
through.
do
We'll go
agree
through
with
some
that.
of the matches that happened last
Sure.
night.
What do we got?
Right here we got here Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta.
Interesting. Okay.
Thoughts on that?
Well, you know what I was wondering? I read something interesting today, and I did want to ask you about this. Orange Cassidy is obviously very over with their fan base and has been for several years now. But I read that a lot of fans feel like Wheeler Yuta was originally a joke, and now he's being taken much more seriously. Do you put any stock in that comment?
No. In that comment, yes.
Yeah.
I feel like, first, a couple of things.
How about his genesis, Wheeler Yuta? Where is he at now in your mind?
He's in the upper level, but he loses. He's the upper level. He is the Buddy Rogers.
Oh, wow.
Roberts, the Buddy Roberts
that's
of
a-
the
That's a compliment.
Blackpool.
You know
Combat
something? That's
Club.
actually a compliment. So he has made some progress.
So here's my problem
Okay.
with him, and I said it before. He doesn't seem like he has a flow or a rhythm to his matches. He gets up too quick. He rebounds from a shot, like he doesn't let it simmer. You know, you get a massive clothesline. Let it simmer.
You should sell that.
Yeah,
man.
sell it, lay
You should
down.
be suffering for a
take
few
some
minutes.
time. Yeah.
Clearing your cobwebs to get yourself back
He
on
gets
your
up
feet.
way too quick.
But that's wrestling today. That's what they do. These massive moves that used to put people down they pop back up from. That's what happens nowadays, especially in AEW.
And as for Orange Cassidy,
Yeah.
I honestly believe whatever I was going to say ECW, whatever AEW wants to sell that niche audience, they're taking it.
Right. Cassidy's been booked according to the fans' will, and the fans are enjoying him, so it is what it is. Orange Cassidy, to me, will always be the
Listen,
guy
if
with
peop-
his
if
hands
peop-
in his
if people
pockets.
like
But
if people like it,
hey, if it
all
ain't
well and good.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I got you.
I don't say it's not broke, though.
To the fans, if they think it's not broke,
Again,
whatever. To the AEW.
I mean, I think I
fans.
saw a comment out there saying, all WWE fans can't stand the fact that AEW is the best. I
Get
don't
out
know
of
what
town.
these people are talking
Get
about.
out of town. All of a sudden, people like Seth Rollins are not
So now they
top
had
wrestlers in the world.
Last night
Get
they
outta
had
here.
what will Chris Jericho do? Would he join up with Ron? What's his name? Callis.
Yeah,
right?
Don Callis.
Don
yeah.
Callis. Mm-hmm. And then he says he will. And Don's like, let's go party. But he goes, oh, but you have a present here for me. Whatever. Let me see it.
Right.
Don Callis is like, don't worry about it.
Right.
And then he pulls it off, and it's a picture of Don Callis holding Chris Jericho's head.
Right.
And then it was like, you thought, you didn't think I was going to join, so you were going to attack me.
Right.
And it's just like, and then he gets attacked.
Now, didn't it take Sammy Guevara with a baseball bat to break
the
this
end.
up?
Yeah, that's-
Very
yeah.
interesting.
Again, I thought another stupid.
Yeah, where's it going?
Exactly. Like, where is this going?
Where is it going? It's not making me go, oh my God, Jey Uso's leaving WWE?
Or
as
it's
he
not
walks
like,
into
oh my
the crowd?
God, thank God Chris Jericho's facing.
Right.
What are you doing here?
Honestly, Jericho's kind of, and for one of the greatest Chris Jericho fans you could probably find, he's kind of put me in a indifferent area with him.
He's got to retire.
That's messed up.
He's got to retire.
When you love someone that much and they put you in that
Well,
area,
because when you
I'm
hang
like,
around way
Chris,
too long, it's like, it's time.
Yeah.
Better to come back for
Yeah.
2 matches a year like a
Yeah.
Cena.
Can't you do
that-
like what Edge is doing?
Right.
Come do that. Go home, Chris. It's where your real legacy is. I don't care what these people of the last 3 years think.
But like, it's like, just do
You know?
1 or 2 matches,
I agree.
dude. No one wants to see
and
you
why
anymore.
are you working so hard? You're going to regret that in about 15 years, man. You're taking too many shots to the head at this age.
I don't know.
Not that anybody really cares because they, want
don't-
the health of the wrestlers,
who's
but they also
writing
want them to
these
kill
angles?
themselves.
Who's writing these angles,
I don't.
Jimmy?
They're probably the wrestlers. I had a great idea.
Gates of Agony versus Nick Wayne and Darby Allin. Now they got this kid Nick Wayne. It's
Right.
like another 120-pound guy.
They're becoming all the same to me. I maybe that's wrong of me, but I don't.
So the
see
big
them
thing about last night, and
differentiating
tell me
themselves
tell me
from
if
the
this,
pack.
Tell me if this makes sense to
Yeah.
you. Everybody felt the show had too much.
Yeah.
It was too much. It was like you couldn't keep up with what's going on.
When you sign half of the WWE leftovers, you're going to have too much.
I want to read some comments.
Sure. What do we
Jay
got?
Will says Andre has been given mythical status.
Okay.
Against a trained shooter like Antonio Inoki, he would have gone at his knees. Antonio Inoki was not a small man.
No, he wasn't.
He had to be like 6'5".
Right.
Built like a brick shithouse.
Right.
Plus, he was a martial arts master.
Right.
I agree with you, Jay Will. A guy like that. Bruce Lee, on the other hand, was 140
Right.
pounds.
Right.
He
There's
wasn't
a big
right.
difference.
There was, and
by the way, we have seen Antonio Inoki shoot for real on the Great Antonio, whatever his name was.
Right.
And while he was quite effective, something tells me Andre wouldn't have been like, oh my God, he just punched me. Oh no, he just kicked me. I have a feeling Andre would have grabbed him and been like, okay, let's go. And now you've got an angry 475 to 525 pound, 7 foot plus Andre the Giant, angry. And how many wrestlers have we had in here?
Right.
Well, almost 200, by the way, at this point, dude.
Right.
I was counting the other night.
Sure.
Wow, what a list we've had.
Right.
Okay? And every single one of them have said the same thing. Andre the Giant was the last man on the planet you wanted to get angry or you wanted to have a fight with.
listen, I'm not saying
So I'm
I'm
gonna
not saying
go with,
Inoki could have beaten
Inoki's a
Andre,
badass.
but I could see Inoki giving him a lot of problems.
Absolutely, I agree with that. It's a good point by him.
It is.
It's a good point. And he's much bigger than
But
Bruce, though.
I will also say he was given that mythical status because he deserved that mythical status.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Andre the Giant
Andre
was a
did
bad MFer, man.
Yes, he was. He was. Got to admit, it would have been a very interesting fight one way or the other, you know? But I,
mean,
wouldn't
let
bet
me ask
against
you this.
Andre Angry. Oh, my
Adam
God.
Cole
Yeah.
stays in the WWE.
I wish he had.
He's the manager
Of Keith Lee.
of Keith Lee, and then Keith disappears, and now they've transitioned Adam into a wrestler. Somewhere along the program, he ends up facing either a Bobby Lashley
He's
or
going to get
Brock
murdered.
Lesnar.
He's going to get murdered. You're going to have what you had with, well, he's not the same kind of wrestler, but you're going to have the size differential that you have when a guy like Ricochet. Didn't Ricochet fight Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
You're going to lose. You're going to get crushed.
And it's not believable not to have him get crushed.
Of course not.
So at what point you get my? It's like,
Right.
I don't know.
I agree.
Jeff Hardy versus Jeff Jarrett.
Why did
in
we have
the-
this match, by the way?
Which one?
Why are we having Jeff Hardy versus Jeff Jarrett? Who's the special referee? Captain Lou Albano's corpse?
It was a
Sorry, Lou.
massacre, whatever the
Stop
the
it.
chainsaw
I heard
massacre
Leatherface came out.
Dude,
You got to be kidding me.
it was so bad.
It sounds horrendous.
It was so bad.
Was it the transgender Leatherface from that Texas Chainsaw
He
15?
certainly had the make-believe like toy chainsaw
Stupid.
that you buy at the kids'
This is
store.
so stupid.
It was so bad, Jimmy.
Right.
I was like, what?
And they
is-
make fun of Vince McMahon. They make fun of Vince McMahon for being stupid, which he can be.
And what is the deal with
But-
like Jeff Jarrett, like on their programming nonstop?
I have no idea. I think he's got them under his TNA spell. I know things.
It's
I can do things.
you're right. You're right.
What was the name of that company he started? Global Force Wrestling.
I just
I mean, props to
the
Jarrett for
show
still
just,
going at
the
this stage.
show
but,
just
you know.
kept getting worse and worse
Can I ask you a
and
question?
worse. Go ahead.
What is the bunny?
The bunny is
What's
a
the
wrestler.
bunny?
She hasn't been wrestling in a
The
while.
bunny.
The bunny. That's her name.
Would
the
she
bunny.
come out and eat carrots?
She wrestles with
G'day.
she wrestles with Sky Blue or whatever. Who,
Sky
by the way,
Blue.
who was hot as hell and also disappeared
What a
again.
pretty tag team I'm picturing. The sky is blue. We got a bunny eating carrots. Are the birds singing?
It's like
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
it's just
All right.
It's
and Britt Baker wasted her time with the bunny? What'd she do?
oh wait,
Clip
we gotta
her
go back
ears?
to the
You mean the
the
bunny's
Chainsaw
ears?
Massacre match.
Oh, yeah, can we? Not?
So Jay Lethal
Okay.
hits Jeff Hardy
Yeah.
with a hammer to his head.
He should be dead.
A hammer.
Is he dead?
No.
How's he
In
not
fact-
dead? He should
in
be
fact,
dead.
I don't think
That
that
should
hammer
have
was
been on the
enough.
front page
That
of the-
giant guy they got walking around, that 10-foot guy they got.
Oh, yeah, the 10-foot guy. Yeah,
he
sure.
friggin' has to pick him up and choke slam him too.
After being hit
In
by the hammer.
With a hammer.
Just-
I've never seen something. Listen, at least with Triple H with the sledgehammer,
Right.
he hit you in the stomach.
Yeah.
You know, hit you like this.
And it was all right. The way it would hit you, we'd like almost hold it sideways. And,
Right.
oh, gunshot! Oh, my colon!
Jay Lethal
Yeah.
hits him, bam, in the
Wow.
head.
How's he alive?
It's just- I'm like, what is this?
It's the stupidest thing. I didn't realize AEW's Warner Brothers now. Basically, it's Bugs Bunny. What is that?
Bro.
But they take their wrestling seriously. Oh, God. Do you guys hear yourselves when you comment sometimes on the internet against
The Guns.
WWE?
The Guns wrestled the Young Bucks and lost. And the Guns, that's a team I'd like to see in the WWE.
Yeah, me too.
Built.
By the way, their intro is killer.
They are.
They are
They're-
killer.
That's
Why
a-
are they there? Is Billy mad with Triple H in real life? I mean, what's the story here, Billy? Get your boys over there. Don't you want them
Here's
to have a
history-
good
here's the
life
history-
and work a
here's
little
the
less and
history-
get hurt a little
Here's
less?
history of the AEW.
Safer in WWE.
They bring FTR there.
Yeah.
They were hot for literally 2 episodes. Then they got fed to the wolves by Tony Khan.
Right.
And then Tony got a whiff that there was a possibility when the contract ended that they were going to go back. Which it really did. To me, I was like, what are you going to do with this?
Yeah.
The only thing I thought is that if the Usos beat Zayn and whatever, that FTR would come out and here's your
Right.
next feud. That would have been kind of hot.
I
for
still
a
love
minute.
FTR.
Right.
Go ahead, make fun of me.
Anyway, FTR stays
Yeah.
with them. Now they're the tag team champions.
Right.
Eventually they'll lose
Right.
and they'll be in the abyss again.
Right. Right.
The Guns were the tag team champions. Same thing. Same thing.
It's a mishmash. Do you ever want to see the Young Bucks in WWE?
No.
Why?
Too small.
Too small. Not another Hardy Boys? I
Nah.
mean,
I will tell you, when I watch them, they're smooth as silk.
They really are. That they are. They are fantastic in that ring. I will
Steve
give them that.
Kohlberg, former military brother of mine, he
Okay.
found us and we've been communicating. I haven't
Awesome.
spoken to Steve in a very long time.
Thank
He
you
writes,
both for your service.
Andre really wasn't over 7 feet tall. He was actually thinking, I was actually thinking of Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
Andre the Giant fight the other night. I think any time in the mid-'80s, Andre would have eventually got his hands on Lee and
Right.
demolished
And
him.
he
I
would have.
agree.
I agree.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And by the way, I'm not sure exactly how tall Andre was, but getting to stand in front of him as a 12-year-old boy, he might as well have been 45 feet tall. It's the biggest man I've ever seen in my life. That's all. there
Jay
is to
Will
that.
says Arnold said that Will Chamberlain and Andre the Giant were the 2 strongest people he had encountered. Remember, Tank Abbott was a 600-pound bencher and could not beat a skilled fighter.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not
always about-
about your size.
Right.
But when you have such a size difference,
Right.
then it becomes about
Right.
the size, right?
Right.
I mean,
Correct.
that's the problem.
Correct.
You know, again, Piper was not a big guy. I agree, but
Right. I don't know if I'd mess with him.
yeah,
Might not
exactly.
be a good idea.
All right, so a lot of people wanted,
Right.
you know, since we had Sal Corrente on last week, a lot of people
Great
wanted
guest.
to get our opinions about SummerSlam.
Okay.
So I'm going to read some matches.
Sure.
Give you a breakdown.
Yeah.
Logan Paul defeated Ricochet.
Wonderful match. I mean, if I was grading matches, I would have given that one an A. I thought it was fantastic. Logan Paul is so great. And Ricochet, come on, man. Ricochet is a tremendous skill level. I mean, I think he's one of the best in the world if you're just talking technical ability to do those things that he does. Ricochet's fantastic.
Good match.
Very good match.
Who's that ring announcer, the Ricochet's fiance?
Oh, God, it's escaping me right now, but she's really has a great way, different ways of announcing different wrestlers.
Oh, she's incredible.
fantastic.
And she's gorgeous.
Well, that doesn't hurt either.
WWE's got like that.
Yeah, they
All right,
really do.
Cody Rhodes beats Brock Lesnar.
Fantastic, the third part of the trilogy. I mean, you know, and the right guy won. And, you know, Cody Rhodes is really, he's the man. He's the number one face in this company and ultimately will be world champion. And can't wait for that either.
Now, I will say this.
What a documentary, by the way.
Great
Oh,
documentary.
my
right?
God.
The card slips.
Yeah,
As
I
we
can
go
see that.
on, as
I
we
can
go,
see.
it just continues to slip.
I can see that. But so
L-
far, both these matches are excellent
Agreed.
in my mind.
LA Knight wins the SummerSlam Battle Royal.
Let me talk to you. Yeah, I was thrilled
So
that he
that's,
won
that's
it.
give the fans what they want.
Give the
so
fans
still
what they
keeping the
want.
event hot.
Yes,
right?
that was
I agree
fine.
there.
That was fun. I
So
give that
well
a good.
planned out.
So far, so good.
Here's
Here comes the
here's the
shit
cooler
fest.
match. Shayna Baszler
yeah.
defeats Ronda Rousey in an MMA rules match.
This match stunk, and on top of it, I'm annoyed at Ronda for putting her friend over. I'm annoyed. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's the right
Ronda?
thing to do if she's
I
leaving,
know
right?
it was if she's leaving, but I don't feel like that should have been the result.
Gunther defeats Drew McIntyre. To
Very
retain
good.
it. It was a good match.
Very good match. Very good. Very good.
It
match.
was a good match. It
Yep.
was a good match.
Very good match. The right man won. Very good. Very good. Very physical.
Seth Rollins defeats Finn Balor in a singles match.
This one I'm mad at myself because, I should have realized all along that Seth was going to defeat Finn because all those years back, Finn defeated Seth. So this was the return match 7 years in the waiting, which I was at the match 7 years ago when Finn became the first Universal Champion.
Here's an interesting comment. Davio says it's a knock to the roster when bringing outside persons in semi-regular. So I guess he means like
Understood.
a Logan Paul.
Or even an Edge. I know that Bruce can't stand when Edge shows up.
I love Davio.
Yeah.
But here's the deal.
Logan
You're
Paul's
running
great.
a company.
Logan Paul's great.
And you find a guy that's as popular as Logan Paul
And as
is,
good as he
social
is
media-wise,
getting
and then
reaction.
on top of that, you get lucky enough
Yeah.
that the guy is
He's
better than
so good.
like
Oh my God.
90% of your roster
I
in
love
the
seeing
ring.
him. I love seeing him. I don't think to myself, this could have been an opportunity for Dolph Ziggler. Where's Dolph? I don't think that.
That's
no,
a good-
I
that's
don't.
true.
I
That's
don't.
true.
And I love Dolph
Poor
Ziggler too,
Dolph.
believe it or not. But
great.
no. Yeah, I
So
love Logan Paul.
Rollins Balor.
Very good. Very good match. In the end, as far as your business reasons, the right guy won. Seth is gold. So, fine with me.
This I thought
good
was a
match.
mistake. I really thought. I know it would have been too long.
Would have been nice to put
See,
the
what's
belt
the
on
problem
Finn.
with Rollins
I would have liked
is
that.
Rollins is such a great wrestler and has
Yeah.
been so dedicated to the WWE, the brand. Mm-hmm. It would be a slap in the face to take a belt from
Right.
him that soon.
Yep.
But as hot as Judgment Day is,
Yeah.
it made business sense to put that belt around Balor.
Can I quickly throw in how happy I am that Seth Rollins is doing a program with knees to face?
Yeah, I knew you'd be happy with
Boy, did he melt his ass down when he whispered in his ear. What did he say to Seth? Because
What did he say? That
I don't know. He
Did he
whispered
say the
in his ear.
Fiend's coming back?
He probably said 50-50 booking.
Or said, the Fiend is coming back.
Fiend is coming back.
Remember Rollins when the
Yeah,
Fiend?
right. Yeah, it's the Fiend.
I feel like it's starting to slip a little bit, this whole thing.
What? I love that Nakamura's getting a shot. I think that's
yeah, it's
fantastic.
fine.
I think it's fantastic. And that's
Gotta
going to
give
be
him-
a
gotta give-
killer match.
Gotta
those
give
two.
Rollins something to wrestle.
I
right?
love something to wrestle. Here, have a Nakamura. He sounds like a side dish. What
gotta
is
give
this? That's
Give me a side of
terrible.
Nakamura
Yeah.
with your cream of sung young boy.
Yo! All right.
Here was the
what?
match. Here was the match. The most disappointing match of the night.
Shit. Here we go.
Bianca Belair
Some great moves,
defeats
though.
Asuka and Charlotte, and then Io Sky cashes in.
Yeah.
This match
There was some great moves in that match. There
Well,
was a
I
couple
got-
of high spots that were like, oh my God, are you kidding?
The best was when she had the figure
Where
eight
you were bracing and then the-
Belair did the
That
flip.
was
I mean, that
insane.
was
insane.
But the overall match was just.
There was some, like you said, like I think we talked about it. Charlotte was basically being forced to conduct.
You could hear her in the ring.
Someone's got to
conducting.
tell them what to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be Charlotte.
you
How'd you
like-
feel about Io Sky? I'm champion. I'm like, you didn't put the belt on other people. You put the belt on her.
Well, 100% of the women that have the Money in the Bank
they
have
cash it
cashed
in.
so-
Unlike the men lately who
I
are
will tell you this: the
getting
WWE does well now
Otised.
that they never used to do.
Yeah.
They give you stats.
Yeah.
I love.
No,
when
I
they-
know,
they-
that's
they're
very cool.
throwing stats at
That's
you. It's
very
like,
cool.
whoa,
We used to
80s
keep stats during the Backlund era. Okay, he beat this guy, beat this
Right.
guy, beat this guy. He's due out for a loss.
Yeah,
no, he's
you're right.
not. 6
You're
years
right.
later. Right.
And Roman Reigns defeats Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso comes in and helps out.
People were very angry about this one. They were like, "That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Why did Jimmy do that?" And I do understand why people would have been like, "Really? What is this?" But I got to admit, I'm super puzzled. Now, I don't know if you could fill me in anymore, but I watched SmackDown, and Jay kicks both of them in the face and then says, "I'm out." I'm out of the Bloodline. I'm out of the Usos, and I'm out of WWE. And he walks up the staircase, and I'm like, where is the? They've done it again, though. Where is this going? They continue to make you go. Where is this going? Isn't that the whole point?
This is going a 4-way. Here's the thing.
Of course, we've been talking
They
about
got
that.
to be
That
careful
would make
in
sense.
different ways, too.
Got to be careful.
If they continue to keep the bloodline so hot, like
Yeah.
just look, we've talked about it. Say, Naomi comes back, right? And she's under Roman Reigns' spell.
Right.
Like, and now Jimmy has to come back to the WWE.
That's
because
interesting.
But now you're like, I don't want this to end.
Right.
And then in the end, when Cody eventually wins the
Yes.
belt, which is right?
He's going to.
But what happens if this thing remains so hot and you can't kill it with Cody?
You have to be very careful with any great storyline or any great, and this is a show, of course, WWE. We don't need an Oliver from the Brady Bunch. So be very careful.
Yes. Agreed.
Be very careful. You can turn gold into garbage.
But I almost feel like they're trying to tone down the bloodline because if you
want to pull back on the fastball a little bit to keep it simmering
you
on the pot.
You don't want it to be too hot.
Right.
You want to kind of go right into
Right.
WrestleMania
Right.
to put it
Well,
into
think
it.
about it. If you leave a soup boiling forever and don't, it's going to lose its flavor. You got to be careful there. And I think they will be. They've been so far. It's been a masterful storyline for years now. So
Where does this leave? Where does this leave Roman Reigns when it's all over?
I don't know if I got this correct, but because I'm a little foggy here. But did his shirt say the only one?
Yes.
Is it going to matter in the end? Don't you see his mic skills? He is so effing great. He's going to be like, yeah, they're all gone, and they were nothing to begin with. I'm everything. And he's been saying it lately. I'm everything. And I believe every word he says because I acknowledge him. What a mark I am. Roman can do no wrong, man. Roman can do
I agree.
no
I
effing
agree.
wrong. No
I don't know
wrong.
if he's got someone writing for him. I don't know if he's
course.
doing this stuff on his own.
I'm sure he's, pitching in his ideas because he's earned that respect from creative. But I'm sure that, creative
I mean,
is,
even with the laughing when, Jay, it just like the laughing going on. He doesn't even say anything. He's just laughs.
what he even does subtly in the background. For example, when Jay and Jimmy were having their exchange, and at one point Jimmy was like, "You gonna kick me? Just kick me if you want to get rid of 37 years of brotherhood, And the best is you see Roman in the background looking at Jay as he's staring at Jimmy. He's like, "Do it, do it." I mean, like so great. Even the little things that he
Yes.
does, and Heyman too, by the way.
Absolutely.
Standing next to him doing the same stuff. These guys are so polished at this point.
Back to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Final grade for SummerSlam.
I give it a B. It was good.
I give it a C.
I can't give it a C just because of one stinky match.
As much
I'm
as
gonna
I
give it a
love
B
Roman
overall.
Reigns and
I thought it was good.
let's be factual here.
Yeah.
I mean, Roman Reigns' matches seem like very big time, or goosebump material.
Right.
But as the match, that was one of the lesser.
Do you know why? Because we're going to get to the bottom of this right now. And if you're a fan of the Usos, I apologize. The Usos being split up is almost like when Bob Backlund would fight the Samoans and split up at the Garden. This is not, in my opinion, a valid world champion.
Right.
So to me, foregone conclusion. Different than when Roman Reigns is in the ring with Cody. Different than when Roman Reigns is in the ring with Rollins. Different.
Right.
I wasn't taking Jay seriously. And I still
Did you
don't.
take Brian Danielson seriously
Yes.
when he was wrestling?
You had to. You had no choice after a while.
Right.
Like the closest, the one that I refused to budge on, who got the Daniel Bryan type push, was Kofi. But Daniel, come on, American Dragon, being an independent fan all those years, knowing what he was capable of, not even a fan of him. Always took him seriously. Always. He's one of them.
All right. With that, we'll see you guys at 9 o'clock. Ask Monty and Pharaoh anything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You've been watching This Week in Wrestling. And until next week in wrestling, later.